Hello, this is Kevin Heiser with QStart Labs at IT Martini Hour 13. We're at the Ohio Union on the OSU campus, and I'm here with Wayne Rothman from DirectedMessages. Wayne, I wanted to take a little bit of time to learn about your company, learn about what you're doing, and how you're meeting your clients' needs. So tell me a little bit about DirectedMessages.
Well, DirectedMessages is all about voice petitions. We use voice petitions in order to get a solid message out to people. Sponsors create a message, individuals append their name and their a little extra message, and sponsors then contact their constituency and send it out so they can sign on to the voice petition.
Okay, when you're talking about petitions, of course, around election season, I always think of robocalls and all the calls I get from the politicians. What's the difference between what you're doing and what I guess I would call a robocall?
Well, it's not a robocall. A robocall is one call going to many people. Unlike that, a voice petition is one message signed by individuals and sent out to 1 to 5 people. So it's one message, but many messengers. So think about being at the Olympic Stadium and you hear all that noise. If they start chanting Team USA, what are you hearing? You're hearing one voice. And so this is really a disruptive technology in a sense, because you may want to focus it on a committee that's got something that they won't bring to the House floor, for instance. And you can create a sponsored petition, get thousands of calls going to those people that are stonewalling it, and get them to hear the voice, get them to hear the media about what a disruption it was. But you get your point across.
Exactly, and obviously with this being an election year and so forth, I can see a lot of groups that are wanting to do that. What types of groups have you been speaking with that have an interest in what you're doing?
Well, basically advocacy and activist groups. And when you can combine them both, then you have something pretty exciting. So we've been concentrating on unions and special interest type groups. There's 50,000 advocacy groups. There's 22,000 lobbyists. There's no shortage from the ground level, call the school superintendent, they made a change in the classroom size, all the way up to, let's get this piece of legislation thrown out. I mean, it's all over the board. And we've priced it so that anybody can start a petition. Voice petition costs $10 to start. And you can pass the cost of signing on to the user, and it's very inexpensive, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So we've made it pretty useful.
Yeah, it does seem pretty reasonable price, and obviously has a lot of power when you're getting in front of people. From a standpoint of how you have deployed this, what have been some of the biggest challenges there?
Well, we tied a bunch of technologies together. This is all in the cloud. So from our affiliate programs to our database to the IVR system, the integrated voice recognition system that we use for the phone, and several others are all cloud-based. The challenges have been sort of tying them all together and getting them working appropriately. And we were on the bleeding edge of a couple of those applications, so they went live just before we did.
Understood. Now, as we go through the evening and there's a community choice award and people are talking to you before they go over to the ballot box, if there's one thing you could tell them as they're getting ready to cast their vote for the different demos tonight, what would you want them to remember about what you're doing?
One voice or one message, many messengers.
Sounds very good. Wayne, I definitely appreciate your time tonight. Have a good night.